based on a sole marker of identity.
They may be a minority, but the majority cannot decide the rights of a minority.
We are part of we the people, and we are citizens of this country.
A relationship between a biological male and a biological female.
Because live-in couples also have rights now, my lord, under the DV Act. Even that is not given to us.
समलैंगिक शादी को मान्यता देने पर उच्चतम न्यायालय के सीजेआई चंद्रचूड़ की ने 25 अप्रैल को सुनवाई के दौरान टिप्पणी कर दी कि देश में शादी और विवाह को लेकर कानून बनाने का अधिकार संसद को है। हम यह देखना चाह रहे हैं कि सर्वोच्च अदालत कितनी दूरी तय कर सकती है। याचिका में कही गई बातों पर कानून बनाने का अधिकार देश की संसद के पास है और इस बात को लेकर किसी तरह का विवाद नहीं है। यह समवर्ती सूची 5 के अंतर्गत आता है और खास तौर पर तलाक और विवाह के मामलों को कवर करता है।
They may be a minority, but the majority cannot decide the rights of a minority. 12 out of the G20 countries, including the European Union, have permitted same-sex and marriages, and about 34 countries of the world. But virtually every democratic, progressive country of the world has recognized same-sex marriages. We cannot be behind, even if it's one person.
That the Indian Parliament is a creature of the Constitution and does not enjoy unfettered sovereignty. My lords have been that North Star, not just for LGBTQ rights. My lords have been that North Star in many facets of fundamental rights, pre the legislature walking the talk. And Parliament cannot be the reason to exclude us from this gamut of our Constitution.
Including special marriage act.
But Mr. Solicitor,
Number one.
there's a very important value judgment which you are making, that the very notion of a biological man is absolute, or that a notion of a biological woman is also an absolute notion.
Never change.
Which is incorrect.
The only biological man means biological man. It's not a question of notion.
Positives of rights.
Yes, of course it is.
None of us.
There is no absolute concept of a man or an absolute concept of a woman at all. That's the whole argument in a broader concept.
Biological man, my lord, means man only. It means, my lord, biological man. It's
Biological
not a
man is
matter
not a
of
definition
notion.
of what your genitals are. It's far more complex. That's the point.
We stop having rights if we are not a biological.
So even when the Special Marriage Act says man and woman, the very notion of a man and a notion of a woman is not an absolute, based on what genitals you have.
Lord, biological man means genitals you have. Lord, I didn't want to use that expression.
Family, marriage, procreation, and sexual orientation are a part of dignity, and dignity is a part of 21. So what I am requesting your lordship to grant me a declaration is a declaration of my right under 21. That's what I am respectfully submitting. And procreation in, my lord, today's scenario can also include adoption, IVF, surrogacy, need not only be procreation in one form.
संविधान पीठ ने माना है कि केंद्र की इन दलीलों में खासा दम है कि समलैंगिक शादी को मान्यता देने संबंधी कानून पर विचार करने का अधिकार विधायिका का है। लेकिन अदालत ये जानना चाहती है कि सरकार ऐसे जोड़ों की समस्याओं के मानवीय पहलुओं पर क्या कर सकती है। गुरुवार को हुई छठे दिन की सुनवाई में सॉलिसिटर जनरल तुषार मेहता ने कानूनों के प्रावधानों की लिस्ट सामने रखी। उन्होंने अदालत को बताया कि अगर संविधान पीठ समान लिंग विवाहों को मान्यता देते हुए स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट में पुरुष और महिला के स्थान पर व्यक्ति और पति और पत्नी की जगह जीवन साथी करता है।
Yes.
Fundamentally, as you call it.
Yes.
So rather than going at it whole hog.
Yes.
Whole hog you feel is a problem.
Yes.
Why is it a problem?
No. I am not saying it's a problem.
You don't want to, because you don't want to open up the other fronts right now. You feel, what is the reason? You feel it's a distraction?
No, but I am only saying Only personal laws. I'm only saying.
The point is, there is an organic hole in this.
Yes.
That's one point is,
Yes.
get a declaration, then you say that in some of these, what you term as secular, or
I term them as secular, non-personal.
so far so good.
Yes.
But when it comes to personal law, this will also implicate personal law, isn't it? Because some of your
Some of them will argue, Milord.
Yes.
Menka
now,
wants to argue.
Therefore,
You don't want. All right.
you may not argue. You have strategic reasons why you will not argue. But this court will have to engage itself once more, twice more, maybe three, whatever relief you are seeking, to the Special Marriage Act, right? Which means that others who do not wish to or are not aware of this form of marriage, and I use these words very carefully, who are not aware of this form of marriage, of this going through the civil form of marriage, we can't presuppose, we can't assume that everyone knows this. They are denied this, right? Either they choose their religion or whatever. If they choose to, then they are out of this. So that is one aspect.
That is
Second aspect is they intersect with personal law even here. So keep that in mind when you make this.
yes, Malad.
Yes. I'll tell you later. Yes. I appreciate Milord for your Lordship's comment. 469 will fully apply, and instead of the words colonial legislation, we can use, Milord, the words colonial mindset. It is that mindset, Milord, which started from then. Society has evolved. Your Lordships, Milord, struck down the barrier 5 years ago. But some parts of that mindset remain, which is evident from the stand of the respondents, including that of the states. This Victorian morality issue, Milord, came in 1800s when, Milord, Mr. Macaulay framed this law. You go back to Indian text. For hundreds of years, Milord, you go to Khajuraho, go to other places. You see, Milord, these acts are depicted on the walls for thousands of years. That remained, Milord, the concept of morality. It was not, Milord, this Victorian morality which was in India for 1000 years. Our morality was very, very different, far more advanced, not Victorian, not stereotyped, not stigmatized in this form, not, Milord, this formal thing. You can go to so many places and see. But when, Milord, it changed, and as I said, Milord, when the Hindu Code came in 1950, Parliament was not ready. The Hindu Code, Milord, was not only Hindu Marriage Act. It had adoption, success, so many things, Milord. So, Milord, it's not accepted. And Dr. Ambedkar had to resign. Then it came, Milord, in a truncated form.
तो गोद लेने, उत्तराधिकार आदि के कानूनों में भी बदलाव करना होगा। ये मामला पर्सनल लॉ तक जा पहुंचेगा कि इन सभी कानूनों के तहत लाभ प्राप्त करने के उद्देश्य से एक समान लिंग वाले जोड़े में पुरुष और महिला कौन होंगे। फिर गोद लेने, भरण पोषण, घरेलू हिंसा से सुरक्षा, तलाक आदि के अधिकारों के सवाल भी उठेंगे।
And according to us, the implied exclusion of the entire LGBTQ class from SMA is based on a sole marker of identity, sex and sexual orientation.
State cannot discriminate against an individual on the basis of a characteristic over which the person has no control. The relationship between a man and a woman,
Yes.
so fundamental,
Yes.
to our law and therefore the Special Marriage Act,
Yes.
that for us to comprehend that it will also include a relationship between a same-sex couple would be completely redoing the tapestry of the legislation.